Guys, all right, so it's Damien from Marketing Food Online. So if you're trying to figure out whether to sell your food online, and truly is it profitable to go the online route or get your product in a retail store, I'm gonna give you the 10 benefits of selling food online, and we're gonna dive into those 10 right now. All right, so it's Damien. I'm back with you on the top 10 benefits of selling food online as opposed to selling them into retail stores. And this is not going to be a particular list from the best to the worst. It's going to be 10 benefits which are all going to be beneficial for you if you're looking to get your food product online. So before we do, as always, welcome to Marketing Food Online. I'm Damien Roberti, founder and CEO of Marketing Food Online and an e-commerce food entrepreneur myself. My wife and I started over 12 years ago now, actually, selling our food products online. And we've got stores from Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and everywhere in between. And we've had pretty good success over the past 12 years. So that's what motivated me to start my YouTube channel to help you guys do exactly what I do every single day. So, number one, the first thing that you want to realize when you start to sell food online is that you're gonna be open to millions of customers. Now you're probably thinking, well, Damien, that's kind of a no-brainer. There's millions of people online. Well, a lot of food entrepreneurs don't actually realize the power of being online, even if they've got some products in local retail stores or they're just starting out. Being in front of millions of eyeballs almost instantaneously, because platforms like Amazon, platforms like eBay, platforms like Etsy, they already have built into them a customer base that already go to these platforms. So by opening a store on these e-commerce platforms, you are already giving yourself a huge lift and exposure to being online and in front of millions of potential customers for your particular product. Now, of course, are there going to be millions of customers that are going to be shopping with you for your particular product? Maybe not. No, not off the bat. But having your product in front of a lot of eyeballs are definitely a better chance of you selling much, much more than you would if you're just supplying a local retail store with a half a dozen or a few dozen units. You can be in front of millions of potential customers. So let's get into number two. You're going to have a smaller barrier of entry into the marketplace. Well, what exactly does that mean, Damien? Barrier of entry, and why is it smaller online and doing it myself? Well, the old-fashioned way is that you create a product and then you basically start calling corporate buyers or calling grocery stores or whoever it may be the retailer is that's going to sell your product, and you talk to them and you try to pitch to them the idea, and it's really up to the buyer to allow you to basically come into their retail stores, and then from there they're going to dictate to you which ones they really like, how many units are they going to sell, and there's a lot of other hoops that you have to jump through. So the barrier of entry to get into retail stores, and on top of it, you have a huge amount of competition. So you have to understand that physical retail stores have only so much shelf space. That creates a problem and a dilemma for the buyers because they may have 10,000 people a month trying to sell them barbecue sauces. Now, they can't bring in 10,000 different types of barbecue sauces. So in the meantime, you are trying to answer questions about your product, trying to get them and entice them as a buyer to bring your product into the stores. So there's a lot that goes on. So those barriers to entry into retail stores and brick and mortar stores are much, much more difficult, okay? I can tell you right now, if I walked you through how to open an eBay store, in less than a week, you could have an entire eBay store listed with your products, and your products could be starting to sell within probably a couple months even, and you're in front of millions of customers just on eBay alone. The same thing goes for Walmart.com. Did you know that you can sell your food products on Walmart.com? There's over 300 million people a month that go to Walmart.com right now. Same thing with Amazon. And I could go on and on and on. So basically, all that requires is for you to obviously have your product packaging, have it correctly up to FDA standards as far as labeling requirements, nutritional information. Once you've got all that information done, you can open a store, take a few pictures, create your price point, and then you're ready to roll. Now, does it take time to do that if you've never had any e-commerce experience? Yes, it may take a little bit of time, but I can guarantee you the barrier to entry to get your product in front of millions of people online is considerably less than getting millions of eyeballs in retail stores all over the country. And how long of a time frame does that take for you to do that? So that's why number two, the barrier to entry to get into the marketplace online is considerably less. Let's get into number three. You get to control what you sell. The beauty of having your own store, even if you're on Shopify and you're selling food on Shopify and you've created a store, or if you're on Weebly, if you're on Wix, wherever it may be that you have your own website And then if you're on Amazon, Walmart, or wherever it may be as well on there, you get an opportunity to control what you are selling to the customers, okay? So you can put up products that you want. You can bring down products if they're not selling. You have control over pricing. You have control over shipping. There is a lot that you truly have control over when you're on these platforms. And of course, each platform does have rules and policies to follow and abide by, but that's nowhere near the difficulties of trying again to get into retail stores, supplying retail stores, the logistics of moving the product, supplying the warehouses, and on and on and on, okay? So number 4, limitless inventory. Now, what do I mean by that? Here is another scenario, and I can speak from firsthand experience. When my wife and I started our candy business here in Georgia, we had an opportunity near Atlanta. We were able to get a handful of products in stores through the fresh market chain. Now, the thing of it is that the amount of inventory we were allowed to bring into the 9 stores, they gave us 9 stores. The 9 stores that we had was about 24 units. I could only physically bring 24 units to them at each store. And on top of that, that's actually smaller than that was the amount of space we had on the shelf. This is limitless inventory. And what I mean is you can have as much or as little as you want. You simply add and either deduct or subtract away from your inventory that you put into the listing for your eBay store, your listing on Etsy, or your Shopify store. You can create as much inventory as you want. If you have a product that you make to order, if it's a food item, let's say cookies, you bake cookies, you can control that, okay? The retail stores and back in brick and mortar companies, they're going to dictate to you how much they're going to take on hand, okay? So you have the opportunity to have a limitless amount of inventory, okay? So let's get into number 5. You can actually test new products. Number 5 is testing your new products. So if you're looking to sell food online, sorry about that. If you're looking to sell food online, you can actually get a great opportunity to test a product out. And you know what? A couple months, few months, or even a year down the road, if it's not selling, you simply take it off your store. It's very, very simple and easy. The idea to introduce a brand new product to a retailer is you got to go through the buyer again. And you got to say, hey, look, you guys carry 2 of our flavors. I've got 2 brand new flavors. I'd love to introduce them. Well, the retailer's going to say, you know what? Right now, we're not bringing on any new flavors. Bam. You're done. You're not getting any more product into that store. Or they're going to say, you know what, they're out of shelf space. They're not going to bring on more product because they're maxed out. That limits you. That limits your ability to sell even a couple of new flavor profiles that you could literally just create a couple listings on your platform and you'd be up and running again. Again, more control, and then allows you to test the product out. So number 5, testing a new item is a great thing because it's simply adding a couple pictures and images, adding a price point. You can do it on Etsy, you can do it on Amazon, you can do it anywhere. You can test a product anywhere. But that gives you more control as well, okay? Next up, the number 6 is controlling your pricing. What's great about selling online, if you're going from you to the customer, is that you're going to use a platform like eBay or Etsy. You create the price point, you create the pricing. You can either go up, you can create a bundle, you can increase the actual transaction amount, you can do 3-pack, 6-pack, 4-pack. You can just do an individual item. All of the pricing aspects of it is up to you. And that is fantastic because as you begin to sell to retailers, they're going to buy in bulk. Yes, they're going to buy in wholesale. But the per unit profit margin on food is very, very small. If you have an opportunity to create a product where you can sell 6 or 12 or 24 at a time, you can increase the pricing and make even more money for yourself, okay? Because you stand between the retailer. When they buy it, they're gonna buy it at a wholesale price and then they're gonna mark it up and they're gonna make their money. For you as the producer of the product, you're gonna make a lot less per unit, but again, you can control the pricing when it comes to that. Number 7, you can scale much faster online. What do I mean by that, Damien? I'm new to the food business. What does scaling mean? So that means that if you have a very small business, and let's just say you started out with a retail store and you're selling a product at a retail store, you come online, you have an opportunity to not only take care of the retail sales that you have, but expand that presence you have online, literally again in front of millions of customers, growing your business or scaling it as it's known. And you can scale that food business with a store on eBay, with a store on Shopify, with a store on Weebly, with a store on Bonanza or Walmart. I mean, it could go on and on. If the more places that you can have an opportunity to sell your product online, it makes scaling your business much faster, okay? You just gotta keep up and obviously keep up with demand. That's one of the best things, most important things about scaling is not only just getting all the sales, but you gotta be able to keep up with the demand as well. So number 8, you can actually sell wholesale online. So let's say that you want to start selling wholesale and you're doing great with your brick and mortar business, or maybe you have a little bit of an e-commerce business, but you're thinking about getting into wholesale. You can create bulk listing prices wholesale pricing on any website that you have. If you're on eBay, and let's say you began to sell a product and you were doing individual units, but now you wanted to sell it as a wholesale. You can sell 100 or 1,000 units at a time, but you're giving them bulk pricing. You can expand your business through wholesale opportunities online. But can you do that in retail stores? No, you can't. You don't sell, obviously, wholesale bulk products. You're going to sell it at a price point to the retailer, but I'm talking about you directly dealing with your customer and allowing you the opportunity to sell larger quantities to your single customers at a time. You can expand through wholesale. Now, number 9, you can focus on specifically selling to customers and not to businesses. You can directly sell from you to your customer, and the only middleman per se are going to be the platform fees that you've got. Now, the big challenge is a lot of times that people who make a product, food product, they sell to food distributors because they have the logistics and the ability to sell to a lot of different other retailers. So they're going to buy your product even at a cheaper price, then they're going to sell it to a retailer, and that retailer is going to sell it. So the more people you have between you and your customer, the less money you're going to make. That is the reality of food business, especially when you're selling individual units of products like packaged food products and such. So keep that in mind. The less people is between Damien and my customer, I make more money. So if I'm on eBay, the only person that really stands between me and my customer is just a platform, which is allowing me to sell directly to the customer, okay? So keep that in mind. Number 10 is you can strictly focus on business to business, which is B2B. Business to business is basically you do not sell to customers. You're not interested in selling a few units. You want to sell to a larger quantity, or you want to attract a larger amount of businesses to buy from you in a larger bulk. What exactly does that mean? So let's say you created specifically customized products for corporate events, okay? Let's just say you have like an Oreo cookie and you have wrap it up and you can create customized products for it. The only people that you sell to are corporations who do corporate events for their employees, and they're going to order 2,000 units, 10,000 units, or 5,000 units. Business to business accounts, and if that's what you focus on online, you can do that through even eBay and Etsy, believe it or not, just based on how you price the product and how you bulk price it. So you have the opportunity to attract larger corporate orders or larger business orders, and that way you can sell tons of product and you directly sell it to them, okay? So business to business rounds out the number 10. So if you're looking to figure out what are some of the benefits of selling online, these are definitely 10 that you need to think about, because your profit margins can be considerably better because you are the one in control running the show. So if that was a helpful video, please do give me a big thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you guys on our next video. And if you have questions about the benefits of selling food online, let me know down below in the comments and I'll get to it as quick as I can. Thanks for watching Marketing Food Online. And if you are looking to create your own food truck, start a home-based food business under the cottage food law, franchise a food operation, start a packaged food business, private label your own food product, sell on Amazon, get your own online store, or sell food online, remember to subscribe and check out these videos for more resources. Take care.